Hello there YouTube and welcome back to The Zone, where today guys, we just have a little bit of unfinished business that we need to take care of. And this one is one of those sort of articles that I think I could, afterwards I'll probably maybe edit this myself, and because there are some parts here that I feel like are going to have to be added. But just given about how short this is going to be pretty much, so let's just get started, shall we? And if Noah does decide to get involved again, then we all know what we can do. Chris Chan and Max Mandu live on Leftovers tonight. And somebody called in, tried to contact Noah by saying 9/11 was less of a tragedy than this show right now. And the subsequent fallout was just as bit bad. On the 19th of April 2020, Noah confirmed Ween, an operator of the YouTube channel Leftover Media, did a live interview with Chris and Charlottesville-based musician Max Mandu. Despite social distancing orders in place due to the 2019-20 coronavirus pandemic. Trust me guys, that's the least of the things you have to worry about. The interview was done in person, which the host even acknowledges at 39:15. Summary. The interview is set up with Noah, Chris and Max sitting on a couch at 14:35. The host Noah introduces Max Mandu normally, but then introduces Chris as Sonichu in the body of Christine Weston Chandler, and refers to Chris as Sonichu for the entirety of the interview. After introducing the two, Noah then lets Max perform a song called Malachi with his harmonica and guitar. While Max performs a song, Chris is seen next to Max playing an imaginary guitar. Again, I think he was just trying to enjoy himself. I can't really hold Chris accountable for just something like that. That isn't to say I wouldn't have done the same thing myself. It's just, I don't know, Chris was just enjoying himself. Sorry, not Sonichu in Chris's body. Max then finishes the song and begins introducing himself, but is interrupted by a caller who asks Chris about the due date of the dimensional merge. The stream very soon turns into people spam calling over Skype to ask Chris about Sonichu, the merge, the chaotic combo, and various other things. Chris then asks Noah to mute the calls, and Max goes back to introducing himself, but is once again interrupted by more calls coming in. You see, it's at that point where I'm starting to suspect whether or not Noah technically did mute the calls like Chris asked. I mean, it really would have been better for the stream overall if Noah did, however the hell the people were breaking the embargo is if Noah did mute the calls, how they managed to get in touch is another point entirely. Chris larped about his delusions. Well, what else was he going to do? The loyal fan base, well, loyal and fan base are two very, very big words, including a few enablers and Weens called in. Chris left his mic on while he went to the bathroom. Spectacular. And Max suffered on the inside until he finally decided to leave at the 1 hour 2 minute mark. Honestly, if it was down to me, I would have probably left a little bit sooner than that, but I think Max he came to his senses after all, because Max is pretty much the only real victim out of all of this. Over time, it became increasingly clear that the interview was set up by Noah to harass Chris, primarily through refusing to block other Weens attempting to spam the phone lines, which some viewers suspect was set to automatically answer any incoming calls and show up Max. A move that was met with significant amounts of criticism by viewers both on YouTube and elsewhere. Max's response. Max Mandu gave his official response to the stream on his YouTube channel, stating he was left in the dark about the nature of the interview. Hi folks, as newcomers to my channel may be aware, I was recently involved in a video that turned out to be the work of a troll and con artist. It's clear it was an attempt to humiliate me. I would like the record to show that I had no knowledge of the show's format or the other guests before I went on. I did speak to the host beforehand to confirm details, but he purposefully misled me. I wholly condemn this and regret my involvement. My alarm bells were going off the whole time while I was there. I wish I had left sooner. I only didn't because in such an unexpected scenario, I didn't know how to react. Yeah, this is why, again, I would straight up believe Max if he genuinely had no idea who Chris was, because you know what? I don't know anybody else who on the outside, and they were sitting next to Chris, and they were hearing all this stuff. I don't even know what on earth you could say about this, because on the surface is a 38-year-old man-child, believes now he is a woman, and goes around believing that fictional characters do exist and that we are going to be part of their world. I don't know how anybody can react apart from get this guy institutionalized or get me as far away from here as possible. I'm immensely thankful for all the kind messages of support I have received as a result. It goes to show that the good in the world will always outweigh the bad. True. This has not discouraged me from pursuing music. Rather, I am the more determined to continue practicing my art and putting positive content out into the world. If you would like to hear more of my studio recordings and support me directly, you can stream or purchase my music on Bandcamp, Max Mandu Bandcamp. Thanks for your support, Max. And this is the video in question, and for pretty obvious reasons, I'm not going to click on it. But in case you're wondering why, I think I'll explain a little bit later on. Transcript of Chris Chan on the show, it says, "I'll break you dead. This media needs a transcript. Help Quickie by transcribing the audio. If the audio is too long, transcribe select portions which are funny or informative. Piano cover of Green Hill Zone. Fade in Noah sitting on the couch. A disturbing drawing of Chris as a bodybuilder hangs behind him. Chris's arm is visible at the edge of the frame. Noah. Hello everybody, and welcome to Leftovers tonight. Today I have assembled some of Augusta County's most talented people to discuss their art and their careers. Well, again, career for Chris. Don't ask me about what career Noah's going to have when all this is over. Starting today is musician Max Mandu, who is a local talent out of Charlottesville. He's going to play a little ditty for us, and then we'll speak with Sonichu, in the body of Christine Weston Chandler. All of this coming up shortly after a musical song by Max Mandu. Alright, Max? Alright then. Max begins playing. Chris begins moving his lower leg in rhythm with the song. The song is called Malachi. Yeah, basically, I'm just gonna go over. I'm just gonna be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to like experience this for yourself, you may just want to go watch the video for yourselves. Apart from this part, Max looks slightly annoyed, and that's probably because of all the people spamming on the Skype. Now, technically, that is the end of this article, and you might be wondering that it's relatively short and almost not even worth mentioning. However, there was a very, very specific reason why I'm glad that they decided to make this, and why I said I wanted to add some stuff to this article as well. Because, for some of you may not be aware, myself and Gibby, another channel who documents Chris's life, we both received copyright strikes on our channels because we showed footage of the live stream itself. This is despite the fact that fair use laws are put in place specifically so that, you know, because we were frequently pausing the videos at several points, and we were talking and giving our own commentary, which is absolutely fine within the realms of fair use. Everybody says that this is, and I've watched the video myself of Gibby discussing this. This is 100% a violation of DMCA spamming, where you can literally just spam, this is my content, I want it taken down, and I want to give these guys some punishment for it. Now, Gibby has done a lot more, but has said and done a lot more about this than I think I have. However, it's really, really interesting that if listen, it wouldn't have looked great on Max if he had just left everything here, but it's the fact that he made problems a lot worse by trying to silence the voices of people that can see very, very clearly what Noah's intentions truly were. And unfortunately, whether or not our videos do get returned where we talk about this live stream ever again, I've just got this much to say. It doesn't matter necessarily whether or not, well, certainly if my video never comes back, but I think it's really, really important to note that this tactic is just straight up not going to work, trying to silence people by talking about this. Because ironically, I didn't really have that much bad things to say about Noah when I made my video talking about this live stream. And what's slightly more interesting is that I don't know what on earth must have been going through Noah's head when he thought that this was in any way like a smart or clever idea, because it just wasn't. Trying to silence people for calling people out on their bullshit. You're going to wrangle even more voices against you, and then when people like more find out, because people will find out about this stuff, about Noah frequently spamming people for unfair DMCAs and, you know, so getting people copyright strikes out of malicious intent, it's not going to look very good in the eyes of other people. Not to mention that Noah didn't exactly have the greatest of reputations before, because I've watched all of the videos on his channel that he had already, and it's pretty obvious that, yeah, I would say that this is like, well, one, the whole live stream was definitely a bad idea, deceiving people like Max, because making this almost about the only reason people watch this live stream at all is because they knew that that a very notorious low-cat was going to be on it. They couldn't give two shits about Max. Well, some people technically did, but then again, Max realized that, yeah, this is just not worth the stick. So again, Max is the only person I feel he's also got in contact with me to discuss about his perspective about the whole thing. Ironically, Chris has yet to give any real opinion about what he thought about the whole ordeal, whether or not he's ever answered any queries as to whether or not if he knew that this whole live stream was a con by Noah. But the important thing to note right now is that this is just a very strange point in history, and that, well, because of what happened, I think it's pretty easy to point out exactly why these sort of things are not a great idea, and what you don't do when, you know, you release stuff, because it's going to be commented, and again, fair use was brought into place to protect people from, you know, from trolls who are spamming copyright strikes left, right, and center. It's a strange part of history, but I'm glad at least we've learned something very important out of it. Well, I say we have. I don't know whether or not Noah learned anything new or better or different. And Chris is the sort of person who would never learn to save his life. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this very short video where I have to once again bring up leftover media. If Noah thinks he could just, you know, take this video down again, I would like to see him try. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications when my videos come out. And I hope to see you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.